Hey there, Riverman fans. I'm Jason Rupp. Welcome to another edition of the Drydock Podcast. It's the podcast where we catch up with Riverman players, past and present, get a beat on what they're doing over the course of the summer, talk about the season that was, and maybe even their future plans. Our next guest is someone that is familiar to, I would think, a vast majority of you, a second-year returning veteran, an assistant captain this past year, the reigning SPHL Defenseman of the Year and leader in plus minus, Zach Wilkie. Also, I must make mention, also back-to-back Riverman fan favorite award winner. Can't forget that one. Zach, you looking good, my friend, repping the Peoria Chiefs. I love it, brother.
Oh, yeah. Got to support the local teams. Hopefully they're doing well. I haven't really checked up on them in a while, but, always got to rep Peoria, okay? Maybe I'll get one of their new their soccer jerseys that they have.
Yeah, Peoria FC, I believe, where our intern Brandon did some work in last summer as well.
All right. Yeah, I'm going to have to go over there, check out a game, and maybe pop in the shop and get a nice little jersey to add to the collection.
There you go. Well, I think what a lot of folks around here love about you is just how much you have embraced the city of Peoria. The past year, you started off in the ACHL with the Worcester Railers, decide to come back a few weeks later and basically told John Guichdell that you were going to commit to Peoria for the entirety of the year. What went into that decision, and what makes Peoria a place that you feel you want to stay at and play for?
I think it was just like the feeling of home. I was in Canada for, I'd say, about 8 to 9 years, and I was away from my parents and my brother and his family and all that stuff. So, Peoria embraced who I was and as a person and as a player, and they allowed me to be, who I am. And especially Guy had a message my first year with me, and, it really resonated, and it followed in the second year. So I went to camp. I thought I had a really good camp, but it just didn't feel like home there. And for me, it's all about home. It's all about family. It's all about the people that are around you. And that's what Peoria is.
Exactly. And in the past 2 seasons, you've become notable for your eccentric personality, for the frost tips in the playoffs, the hair.
No, I don't know if there'll be those this year.
Yeah, no. We'll you shaved it off. I was just going to go into the little mini mohawk that you had going on, that hairstyle. What, looking on that hairstyle now, it's appropriate that you show us that it's almost all gone. But what went into that decision to the inspiration to go with the frost tips, to go with the mohawk hairstyle? When did that little light bulb went off in your head that said, oh, this would be a great idea?
I think there was a time in Peoria before we won, when they were in the coast, that all their players did it. There's a giant picture right outside Guy's office of all the boys with, frosted tips or blonde full hair, and that was the style back in 2000 normally.
Backstreet Boys. Boys.
So I was like, you know what, this is the year that we're going to win a championship. And I looked at that picture, I'm like, I got to do something to resonate that feeling of it's our year. And I went out and had somebody grab the frost and all that stuff, or the blonde, whatever the heck it's called, and they did it. And then now it's just become my thing every year for playoffs. So the last 2 years I've done it. It might be a little bit different this year for playoffs. Might just have the Slim Shady style of blonde hair, but we'll find out what crazy hairstyle I get into for the playoffs next year.
Well, regardless what hairstyle you go with, no matter what, next year, everyone knows that Zach Wilkie is going to bring the energy. I think that's arguably one of the biggest attributes off the ice that fans can relate to what you bring to the table. How infectious do you think is that energy in terms of getting yourself hyped up and getting guys around you hyped up, for whether it's a game, situation, what have you?
Yeah, for me, it's just what I am and who I am and all that stuff. I'm a very energetic person. I think that you would definitely be the first one to notice that coming in the office all the time during the year, and just trying to spice your guys' day up. But I think the boys feed off of it really well, especially when we're going through those hardships. Guys are coming to the rink and they're a little bit upset and they're angry, but I try to keep it light. I try to keep it positive. I went through years where I took hockey so seriously, to where it just did not go super well on the ice for me. And, I was like, I can't take hockey seriously. You know why? Yes, we are professional athletes. Yes, we got to take it serious. Yes, we got to win. But it's the game that I grew up loving. It's the game we all grew up loving. And why can't we have fun with it? Why can't I treat it like, when I was a 10-year-old kid showing up at the rink and being like, "Woo, let's go," right? So, I mean, me as a person being energetic, it's in everything that I do, from, my normal day life to the working in the village that I do, to leading onto the ice and with the boys off of it too.
And I certainly think that would translate on the ice. I mean, let's be honest, Zach, you had a career season leading all defensemen in scoring, SPHL Defenseman of the Year honors, led all players, all skaters in plus minus, almost led all defensemen in terms of total goals. And you were wearing an A for the first time this season. You took a big step this past year in the play on the ice. I don't think that's in dispute at all. But with all the changes going on this year for you on the ice, what was that adjustment period like this year compared to last year, do you think?
I think just the confidence, the biggest thing for me is I play with a lot of confidence and all that stuff. And, as a first year guy, you're still learning. You're learning the professional game from, the veterans like Hags and Nevs and Cody that we had last year. I mean, all those guys were great leaders, and I took a little bit from each one of those guys, and I tried to put it into my own leading style myself. But I mean, like the confidence this year when I came back, I knew Peoria is where I want to be. It's where I want to be for my full career. And I was just like, I'm just gonna go have fun with my friends, and it turned into something great on the ice. And I couldn't have done what I did this year without all the help from the guys and every teammate that was on this team this year, to the guys that were at the end. I mean, I have to give all the credits for my success to my teammates, me just being, hard on me, but also always fair. And, he tells you how it is. He tells you how he wants you to play. And, I embrace the way he wants me to play every night, and he lets me do it with confidence. So, I mean, from first year to second year, like I've said probably 1,000 times in the last 2 seconds, is just my confidence level and how it's, I just try to keep it at an all-time high.
Jean-Guy Jadel coming back for another year behind the bench as Riverman head coach. He's also bringing Alec Hagaman, who's making the transition from player and captain to now associate head coach. How big do you think that dynamic duo is going to be behind the Riverman bench next year?
I mean, I think it's going to be awesome. You're still going to get the same coaching style out of Guy, the same hard play that he wants us to play. And you're going to have Hags right there also, that was a player for so long, that knows how to, get to you as a player and as a person, and, reach out to you. And even if you're having a tough day, Hags will be right there to be like, "Hey, we need you. Let's go. It's time to get moving." And I think, you'll have a little bit of the same from each, because they've been together so long, but I think you're going to have a little bit different personality wise, with like how Guy likes to coach and how Hags is going to learn into being that style of coach. And I think it's going to be great. I think every young player that's coming in next year is going to love it. I think every veteran that returns next year is going to absolutely love it. So, I mean, I'm super excited. I can't wait to be back in a few months and, play for those two guys, because, those are two men in anything that I would get in the trenches and go to war with every single day.
Exactly. Now, I don't know if you know this, but by the day we're recording this, it's National Friendship Day.
Oh,
and a lot has been made with your friendship and relationship with Alec Hagaman over the past couple of years. How has that relationship kind of developed and matured over the past 2 seasons? And how has that relationship with Hageman helped you become a better leader?
Yeah, I think Hags really embraced who I was. He used to always tell me that you're just like Scruggs, and Scruggs was, that big jokester, leader type of guy. And I was like, I didn't know who Scruggs was at the time, so I was like, thanks for the compliment, I guess. But I mean, Hags is, watching him on the ice, off the ice, really has gotten through to me on, the little things that I have to do to not just make myself successful on the ice, but successful in the locker room as a leader. And I mean, I'm hoping, to continue those strides and everything like that, to, help lead this team in any way that I can next year to hopefully another championship. I mean, missing out on it this year, it's killed me, and I want my cup back. I want my cup back. I think Peoria wants its cup back. So I mean, for him to do everything over the last 2 years and embrace me and call me on days where I wasn't feeling at 100% or feeling just right, and show me what a true captain has to be. I mean, it's fantastic, and he's been the best captain I've ever had, and I'm excited to move forward with the future with him and continue striding in different ways on and off the ice as a leader.
Thank you for mentioning Ben Skroba, because that's a perfect segue into my next question. Ben can sometimes be described, I guess you could say, as the pre-Zach Wilkie, like you, big personality, fan favorite, defenseman as well. He came back for a game or two to kind of finish up his career on his terms. What was that experience like, meeting another eccentric and welcoming personality in the locker room who was also a defenseman? The kind of the pre-Zach Wilkie, so to speak.
Oh, it was awesome. I mean, Scruggs as a person is such an awesome guy. I mean, his personality is out of this world, and I think that's why when I met him for the first time, we just clicked. Our playing styles are a little bit different. He was more of a defensive style defenseman, where I consider myself more of an offensive style defenseman. But with our personalities in the locker room together, I mean, I looked at some of the guys, and some of the guys were like, this might be too much. Because I mean, me and Scruggs are going back and forth on who's screaming out clock started first, or getting ready, and then we're going out there and we're giving out the handshakes and smiling and yelling and all this stuff. But I mean, just talking to Scruggs and having his energy on the bench, it was awesome. I could see why he was an assistant captain of this team in the past, and why he was such a great leader off the ice and on the ice, because he just loves his teammates. And I mean, he embraced all the guys that he played with for, I think it was 2 games, maybe 3. I'm not too sure, but he embraced all the guys like they've been teammates for years. And I wish him nothing but the best in retirement and everything like that. And, I hope he's doing well with his family life. I haven't talked to him in a little while, but I mean, he's an awesome dude, and I'm glad that I could say I'm sort of like Ben Skroba in that way, with the energy and the likeness by all the Rivermen faithful.
You know what? Now that I think about it, it might have been a good thing that Ben was only back for a weekend, because I don't think the universe could have handled the combined energy of Zach Wilkie and Ben Skroba.
Hey, you never know. I mean, I might have made it a little bit more exciting in the room. I would have had somebody finally yelling back at me when I'm getting loud. I mean, some of these guys on my team, I love them to death, but they're so serious. And I take Hags as an example. He was like captain serious, right? Like you look at him and he's just giving you the look like, oh yeah, it's go time. While I'm over here like, it's go time, let's go, and I'm screaming in his face. So I mean, it was great, but I like you said, I don't know if the entire team could handle 2 guys that just yell all the time. I mean, you got me and Ernie, so Ernie's way up there with screaming too.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Let's give a big shout out to Jordan Ernst. Quick question aside with that. Who do you think, outside of Hageman, who do you think's the most serious guy in the room?
Ooh, most serious.
Outside of Hags. Like you said, he's Captain Serious.
I got it. I'm going to either go with JM is usually pretty serious. I mean, he has his times where he likes to joke around and, all that. Or if I go on the other side, during a game, Wids is pretty serious. Wids was very meticulous in how he wanted to play, and just wanted to be he wanted to just
control
that energy. Yeah, he wanted to keep it in his own control. So I'd say Wids, JM, and or. Ooh, this is a tough one. I'm gonna give you a third option, but I'm gonna go with Carey. When Carey got in his serious
Alex
mode.
Carrier.
Yeah, he was a very big joker, and he liked to have fun with me. But when he got serious, you knew it was game on. You knew Alex had that serious face, and when you looked at him, you knew this was a 10-year veteran that played at high levels. That was like giving you that face of like, oh yeah, here it comes. That I would take those three guys for sure. I mean, I go JM, Wids, then Carey.
That's a good list, honestly. And you know what? Something that I'm sure not a lot of fans would have expected, because I'm sure if you would have pulled the fans, they would have thrown out a Mitch McPherson, perhaps.
Mitchie's serious, but that's just his face. Mitchie's got that scary face, like where he's just always like, that's his happy, unhappy, laughing. You know, when Mitch smiles, it's funny because it's like it's such a big eccentric smile. But I mean, Mitch has just got that face like, watch out, I'm coming for you.
I think if you were to pull the fans, their three picks would be Mitch McPherson, Nick Neville, and I would go with Eric. And I think Eric Levine would be in there.
Eric's up there. Nevs.
Because goalies, goalies got to be like in that mode.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think Levy's pretty far up there with, like, you know, he likes to have fun and all that stuff. But when it comes to a game, he's very, you know, right here and in the zone. I mean, Nevs is Nevs. You know, quiet guy, quiet leader, great person, all that type of stuff. But I mean, Nevs is just like, he tells you how it is. He's just so like, yep, this is me. I'm Nick Neville. Which he just celebrated a birthday. He just celebrated a birthday. So I'm going to give him a belated birthday shout out on this. So hopefully he sees that.
You mentioned how big family is, not only here in Peoria, but for you personally. And you had a really special moment this year, having a chance to play professional hockey for a game with your brother, Jeff. How meaningful was that to you and your family? And just what was the first thought and your thoughts going in through your head? And you look down the bench and there's your brother, Jeff, on the other side of the bench with the forwards.
I mean, you were sitting there when I had the whole discussion with Guy in Fayetteville, and, you know, it's always been a dream of ours, you know, to play some type of professional style hockey together. And, you know, we never thought it would happen. We always joked around about it. And he would always be like, hey, like, if you guys need a defenseman for the weekend, like, I'm here, I'll drive down for the 2 hours. And when Guy was able to make that happen and really allow my brother to come and you know, participate in, you know, not just the game, but everything that leads up to the game. I mean, it was a dream come true. My mom was there. My brother's wife was there. It was awesome. And then we had our shift together. I was hoping he was going to score on that pass I gave to him. I think he got nervous. You know, he's never played in front of that big of a crowd and, you know, in that situation. And, you know, he got it and he did the old handshakes like, oh no, what do I do with this now? But I mean, it was awesome. It was a dream come true. We got so many pictures, and I don't think my brother wants to be done. I mean, he wants to come back for another little hoorah, but we'll see how that goes. Who knows what happens this year with everything. But I mean, he enjoyed it. My mom enjoyed it. My brother's wife was, you know, a little skeptical of it at first. She's like, what if you get hurt? And he's like, I'm not going to get hurt. Don't worry about me. I have Zach and all the boys to protect me if anything goes awry. And I was like, don't worry, he'll be fine. He's a big boy. So, I mean, no, it was heartfelt, and it meant the world to me and my family.
Oh, that's great. Now, if Jeff does come back, you got to tell him you got Barry next time.
Yeah, no doubt. In your 49 seconds of a shift, if I give you a pass, you better score. And then just do the quick walk off. Like, thanks, guys. I'm out of here.
Walk up. Thanks. Bye. Have a great one.
Ciao.
Well, you were telling me beforehand, because I had asked you about what happens if Jeff does score. And you told me, he's like, I may just walk off and retire at that point.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think I would have, but I definitely would have been probably the happiest younger brother there is. I mean, probably would have been like he won the Stanley Cup for us, but you know, it was just, like I said, it was a dream come true. We got to sit on the bench together and participate in warm-ups and everything like that. And we got that shift together and, you know, I can't thank Guy and the rest of the Riverman, you know, office for being able to make that happen. So it was awesome. Hopefully it'll happen again. Who knows? I mean, that's again, up to the coaching staff, but like you said, if we ever need a defenseman on short notice, he'll drive the 2 hours and get there for it.
Switching gears to something a little more entertaining to talk about outside of family, Chicago Blackhawks, first overall pick. odds are they're probably going to get Connor Bedard. How
Mm.
excited are you for that? And pivoting from that, did you get a chance to see the Ramparts and Coach Patrick Waugh win the Memorial Cup? How difficult is it to win the Memorial Cup as someone who played Canadian Major Junior?
First starting with the Bedard thing, I'm like super eccentric. I think that, Bedard is a player that his game is going to transfer into the new NHL with it getting smaller and faster and a lot more skilled. And, the Hawks have had their ups in the last, 10, 15 years, and they're way, way downs. So I think, Bedard coming here, he's going to turn the Hawks around, like sort of like Patrick Kane and Jonathan Taves did. And he's going to hopefully lead us to another Stanley Cup. That would be great, being a Hawks fan. I mean, I know some of the people watching don't want to hear that, because I bet some of the Peoria faithful are definitely St. Louis Blues fan. But, I'm over here hoping my Hawks get another Stanley Cup or another 5 in the next 10 years. It'd be great. But no, he's going to be a great, great asset to the Blackhawks. And I think the coaching staff and them there are going to really develop his game into an NHL style. And then now transferring in your second question, as a guy that never ended up winning an OHL championship or getting to the Memorial Cup, and knowing guys and playing with guys that have, won it, it's one of the coolest feelings that they said to me. But it's a hard road. I mean, starting with that 64 game long season, and then you go into playoffs and you have 4 rounds, just like the NHL, best of 7 of playoffs. And then, if you're the host team, you get, your chance to compete in it if you win the league championship or not. But I mean, you're still hoping to win the league to prove that you're the best in your league, and then go on to be the best of all 3 Canadian junior leagues. But I mean, the other 3 teams that aren't the host teams having to go through all those rounds and then win your, league championship and have, 2-3 day celebration with it before flying to wherever you have to go. So like, obviously, like Peterborough had to fly all the way to Kamloops, BC, which is way, way west. So, I mean, it's awesome watching the Quebec Ramparts. I mean, I wish the OHL would win it, being an OHL grad, but I mean, it's one of the best tournaments, and anybody who's never watched a Memorial Cup tournament in their life, definitely next year when it's on, check it out. You're going to see some of the best young players, 16 to 20 in Canadian major juniors go at it for, probably the most prestigious junior prize in the entire world.
Absolutely. Oh my goodness. I had a chance to watch a little bit of it, watch the Ramparts, obviously watch Connor Bedard. Just incredible atmosphere and incredible pace of play. And even remembering that these are all 17, 18-year-olds.
That's the crazy part, is like, these are 16, 17, 18, some are 20. I mean, these guys got a long hockey career ahead of them, a lot of them. I mean, you never know. You might see a few of them in the SB in a few years, maybe some of them be in the coast or going to college in Canada. But I mean, these are the best players at their age level in the entire world. And being able to participate when I did against, the Connor McDavids, the Alex DeBrinkets, the Stromes. I mean, who else did I play? I played with like Josh Hosang and Brendan Perlini, and Matt Murray was graduating from Sault Ste. Marie when I first came into the league. So it's like there's been so many prominent guys that come out of these junior leagues to make the pro level, and some of them end up in the East Coast League, and some end up in the SB. I mean, so it's just crazy to watch how fast these kids play nowadays. I'm like, I didn't play that fast when I was 16, 17 years old playing at that level. It was more of a physical style, like I'm going to punch you in the face contest. But I mean, now it's just all skill and, all these deeks and all this. And I'm like, I can't play, that fast at that age anymore. I mean, that's crazy.
It's certainly a rapidly changing game and a high speed game. Zach, last question for you before I let you go. We could keep going on for hours, but unfortunately we only have about 30 minutes. What is your dream summer weekend? No responsibilities, no hockey, just Zach Wilkie, just to go out to wherever he wants in the summer with whomever he wants. What's your dream summer vacation? As you get your little dog behind you just came out.
Oh, she made her appearance again on the show.
There you
She
go.
made one. She made one last time. Dream vacation. Well, my girlfriend and I have talked about it. We've always wanted to go to Greece.
Mm.
I've wanted to go to Greece and, check out all the cool history of Greece and, the beautiful pictures that you see of it. I want to go, see all that and travel there and, eat, real Greek food and really see what Greece is all about. I think that would be amazing. It would be fantastic. It would probably be the best vacation I've ever taken. I hope I get to do it one day. It is a dream right now, but dreams tend to come true. I mean, pro hockey, all that stuff, winning a championship my first year. So, dreams do tend to come true to the people that are patient and work for them. So I think Greece would definitely be the spot I want to go.
Words of wisdom from the reigning SPHL Defenseman of the Year. Zach, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to talk to us. We can't wait to see you back here at Carver Arena next season and perhaps maybe even some point later this summer.
Oh, I'll be there this summer. I'm actually going to be there this weekend. So got some fun activities to do in Peoria, see some people. I think they have a concert this weekend too that I'm going to go see. So Peoria is like my second home. So I'm there all the time. So if any of the fans that are watching, if you ever run into me, don't hesitate to say, hey, what's up? Anything like that. I'm always willing to talk to everybody that supports us and have a conversation and talk to your kids, whatever you need me to do. I mean, I love Peoria to death and I love the Rivermen. So, my heart's always in Peoria, even if I'm not.
Man of the people. Zach, thanks so much for your time. We'll talk to you later, my friend.
Yes, sir. Thanks, Ruffer.